Yeah. All right. Opening night, man. Jitters?
For sure, but I'm really excited to be surrounded by people that I love to work with.
Now, obviously, the book, then the film, now the musical. Where was your entry point?
8th grade English class, Pat Stewart, Pine School, reading the book. Fast forward, New York City, summertime, I heard about them doing a workshop. I got called in. 4, 5, 6 callbacks later, made it, came through to La Jolla, and the rest has brought me right here.
Now, obviously, a lot of people attached to this, a lot of people attached to the film, the book, and the play. How nervous do they make you? Say Coppola, say Angelina.
Yeah. I think out of all those people, I can speak to Angelina. She's just incredible. She's a warm-spirited, kind person. She's unique, and she's been so supportive. And of course, when I first met her, my heart was beating pretty fast. I grew up watching her and hearing about her, and meeting her has been a joy. Everyone else, Coppola and all them, I've looked up to them my entire life, and I'm just so grateful that I get to work on something that they've touched as well.
So she's really a hands-on producer.
I would say so, yeah. She's been incredibly supportive while also honoring the artistic integrity of our directors and everyone. It's just been a wonderful collaboration. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's interesting is that so many famous people are attached to this, whether it's the book, whether it's the film, and now with your producer on this one. Who makes you the most nervous?
The director. I honestly, they're all such nice people. I've had the privilege of meeting most of them, and they're all such gracious people that I haven't really had. They sort of calm any jitters or preconceptions that you have about them upon meeting them. So I would say the director makes me nervous, as should any director for any actor. But she's more supportive, kind of nervous. I want to make her proud.
So no notes from Angelina.
No notes from Angelina yet. There's still time. We still have many performances for her to see.
What was it like when she came to see you guys, and did she bring the kids?
She did. She came with Vivian, her daughter. We didn't know. There were whispers about it, but everyone thought it was just kind of a rumor to hype us up for our last show in La Jolla because she came to the last one. And we learned very shortly after that she was indeed in the audience. And we were all kind of like dumbstruck that she was there and she had witnessed it.
Well, everything I've heard, you had a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, it was doing the out of town. We were really discovering the bones of it, and we knew we had something special when it was out of town. We knew we had something that could stand on its own.
How does when Hinton wrote this book, outsiders were outsiders, but it was different. It was under a different lens. When S.E. Hinton wrote the book, it was under a very different lens. What do we expect from the 2024 lens of The Outsiders?
I think it's a story about class. It's a story about family, and I think it's something that's universally applicable. And I think for me, it's about young people who are discovering the world for the first time, and that the lens through that never expires, in my opinion.
You look really comfortable.
Yeah, it's like fancy pajamas. Yeah.
So no jitters.
No, I feel good. I'm really proud of what we did.
Yeah. When S.E. Hinton wrote this book, outsiders, were outsiders, and we still have outsiders, but how do we see it under a 2024 lens?
Can you say that one more time?
How do we see the outsider under the 2024 lens?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be an outsider somewhere. And so I think it's all about, the story is all about seeing other people for who they really are and not just the surface level things that give us judgments on them. And so I think it's just a story that's always going to be applicable to society.
And then, Coppola has been associated with the film, Angelina Jolie with this musical. Who makes you more nervous?
I haven't met Coppola yet, but Angelina makes me very nervous. Those eyes are worlds, Staring into them, it's crazy. Yeah.
She came to see the show. She wrote Vivian. How did you feel when you found out she was in the audience?
There's a funny story. Kevin, who plays Bob, walked up into the dressing room one show in La Jolla, and he went, "Guys, I heard Angelina Jolie's in the audience." We were all like, "Screw you, Kevin. Shut up. No, she's not." And then after the show, we found out that she was coming on as a producing partner, and it was true. So it was a wild, wild experience.
That is awesome. Anyway, I wish you the best tonight. Have fun.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Nervous and excited. Nervous because my mom and my family are here, but so excited and happy, man.
Now, did you come with the show through La Jolla?
Yes.
So, how comfortable have you gotten in the role, and are you able to withstand, say, Angelina and Coppola and people like that watching you?
Well, I was playing a different role in La Jolla and then upgraded to Two-Bit Matthews this time around. But I've been able to sit with it for a second. And Two-Bit is me. Like I look at this kid who has a rough relationship with the world around him, and is trying to just make the best. He feels like a middle child to me, and that is what I am. So, yeah.
Now, obviously, Angelina is a big part of this production. Did she make you nervous when she came?
I mean, of course. First of all, she's stunning. Second of all, she's just super confident. But she is so down to earth and creative and artistic, and is just a mom to all of us and treats us so well.
And, obviously, this story, written by S.E. Hinton a while back, the Coppola film, launched a lot of big careers. What does it mean to be an outsider in 2024?
It means the world. Getting to talk to Matt Dillon about that and what it meant for him back then, and to see what it's become now. Every feeling that he was talking about, I am feeling right now in this moment. It feels like a big deal, and it feels like a big shift in theater for us. So, yeah.
Did you go back and watch the film or read the book?
I went and did both. I've now read the book 9 times, and I just watched the film again this past week. I haven't gotten to do that since we went to Tulsa, but it was cool to see all of the sights that we got to go see in the movie again.
9 times?
Yeah, man. Yes. Because I've gotten so many versions of the book, and every time I got a new version, I was like, I'm going to read this. So I have literally 9 books of The Outsiders at my place.
That is awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to see you kill it tonight.
Thank you so much.
Take care, man.
Nice to meet you.
Over here?
All right, man. Looking great tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It feels right. I'm so happy to be around this cast telling this story, so I'm just really excited for the world to see it.
What does it feel like to be an outsider in 2024?
Ooh, interesting question. I don't know, I haven't really felt like an outsider much. I think this cast is so lovely, and they've made me feel so welcomed. I think the story we're telling is super special, super important, and the world's just not ready for it.
Well, the film blew people away. The book blew people away. So, the pedigree is there.
Oh, yeah. I think our musical, because we have music and all these dances and everything, we can tell a different part of the story, right? We can get kind of more emotional with our characters, and it really shows. I think we're doing something really special on stage that highlights the book and the movie, but also kind of builds on to it. It feels really good.
Did you get a chance to talk to any of the former cast members?
We actually did meet Matt Dillon, which was really awesome. He came to the show like about a week ago, and he was blown away. He loved it. But I can't wait to meet the other ones. I'm sure they'll show up.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
We could get the Karate Kid here.
Oh, I know, right?
Lastly, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
What was it like when you found out she was in the audience? How nervous were you?
Well, luckily she's been in a lot of the rehearsal studios. She's kind of been part of the process, and she's always very kind, very sweet, very complimentary, and she's made us all feel very special, very loved, very welcomed into this new world that we're all kind of taking a step into. So yeah, nothing but nice things to say. She's great.
And she brought the kids.
And she did, yeah. Her daughter Vivian loves the show and kind of helped bring Angelina on when she saw it at La Jolla out in California. So they all love it and they all support us, and it feels great.
That is brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you.
Book, and then an even bigger film, and making it into a musical.
Oh man, preconceived notions and expectations, and trying to live up to that giant, you know? I think at some point you got to do the best you can, and you got to hope that it connects with people, and you got to not be so intimidated by the shadow that giant casts.
Yeah, I think it's a one foot in front of the other kind of thing, because if you think about the scope of it, it's daunting.
Yeah. So you guys had some time in La Jolla, and then you had another run somewhere else. Was it Arizona or?
Various workshops.
Right. So how much did that really help you shape and refine this sound, which actually is pretty powerful?
Thank you for saying that. It gave us a chance to really throw everything at the wall and see what we wanted to start peeling off. You know, see what needed to be trimmed, and it gave us a chance to really try everything in a lower stakes situation. You know, I think we ended up cutting 45 minutes off the show.
Yeah, I think having never done this before, I didn't know how valuable a out of town was until we experienced it, and you just putting it on its feet, you learn so much. You know.
And lastly, because I'm just curious after hearing the music, who inspired you guys? Like, well, who are the composers you looked up to?
John Prine, Guy Clark, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Willie Nelson.
And then pulling from this world, Sondheim. We love.
Don't get over your skis.
I'm going blank at the moment.
I don't know. Grandma's Hands.
Yeah, Bill Withers.
Country rock soul kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which seems pretty evident.
Yeah, and sometimes, we'll have a few too many Lone Stars and pull out the old Alan Jackson. We really run the gamut.
That was my morning, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, anyway, guys, I wish you the best tonight. Have fun.
Hey, thanks a lot.
I'm glad I said fuck it.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, brother.
So, the choreography, especially in a Rumble, tell me a little bit about what that took.
Sure. The Rumble was a very early sequence for us in terms of the development of the show. Adam Rapp had written such explicit and really evocative stage direction, about a page of description of how he saw this scene. And after that, we got into the studio and started to research some vocabulary. And once we developed that vocab, it started to inform a lot of how the rest of the show would move.
Yeah, and we were thinking that so much of the way that we interpret violence in movies is actually through sound. And once that idea, settled in our brains, everything else fell into place.
Now, obviously, working on something like this, where there's a book and there's a successful film that launched so many stars, what's the challenge of taking a chance with a theatrical scene like that?
Yeah, I think it's all about leaning into the essential features of the theater. What's unique about telling this story on the stage as opposed to on the screen or on the page? And so leaning into the expressionistic vocabulary that we developed, I think has served the piece.
Yeah, and just highlighting the moments in Pony Boy's life that have outsized real estate in his brain. So, for example, the slap that Daryl hits him with, that is so big in his brain, you have to push it more than just naturalism. The way you do it in the film, you just do it and it lands. The way you do it in a book is you write it and you can imagine it, but you push it even further on stage.
So we think choreography, we kind of think of dance, but there's also a fight choreography, and then that seems to be what you guys especially in that scene, were able to capture. Would you say that's accurate?
Well, for us, it was important, and for Danya as well, it was important that whoever did the violence in the piece also did all of the social dance, all of the transitions, all of the world building, so that it felt like one unified voice. And, our background is in many different styles of dance, but also in martial arts, so it was a unique opportunity to combine these disciplines and to make an interesting vocabulary for the piece.
Martial arts? So you guys do fight choreography too?
We do.
Yeah.
We do indeed.
Yeah.
Sometimes not choreographed between us, but
No, we've been keeping a level head for the last decade, but we weren't always so cool.
Really? Are you guys related?
Yes, we're brothers.
Twins?
Just brothers, but pretty close in age.
I was going to say, I was like, wait, these guys all look the same to me. Anyway, that's great, man. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Pleasure.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
John.
Keith.
That's crazy.
Thanks, Alan.
Hey. Hi, guys. How are you? Just let me know we're good.
We're ready.
All right. Congratulations on opening night, first of all.
Thank you.
Tell me what, obviously from the hit novel to the Coppola film, what made you so interested in bringing this to the stage?
Well, that's probably to you, because you started to bring it to the stage.
Well, the original source was Fred Roos at American Zoetrope. He, for years, had the feeling that this would be a good stage show. And so then he was connected to our lead producers, Araka, and then Araka started putting the team together. Then we did an out-of-town tryout, which is actually where Angelina got involved. And we've just spent the past year developing and collaborating on it and just building out what, because often you don't really know what you have until you put it in front of people.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, yeah.
And it's a show that's, from the start, was created by people with all sorts of perspectives. And so one of the big contributions was actually Angie's daughter Vivian's perspective, because we have the 15-year-old, which is the age that Susie Hinton was when she wrote the novel, and
So how did Vivian actually help shape it?
Well, I mean, I think her her questions. Even when you have a young, she is the prime audience, right? She would be that, or one of the audiences for this. But she's that age that if it doesn't speak to her, it's not quite, because she's that young person that says this feels authentic or this doesn't, or I don't understand this. And I think Susie wrote this beautiful article called "Teenagers Are Real," and it was really a young person saying, listen to teenagers, really listen to what they have to say, and don't simplify things for them. Don't not talk about the hard subjects with them. I think it's very important that a lot of young people see this so they can really think and feel and discuss all these very heavy and very real conversations and what gets you through, which is your friends, your family, something to believe in, all of that. But it doesn't stay on the surface, and I think her questions helped us to help be a guide.
So that had to help as a producer to have such insight from somebody whose eyes are right on it. How did that relationship work for you guys? Did you have little meetings? How did that?
She spent a lot of time with Justin. She started giving me a lot of thoughts and notes and talking to, but then she started to spend time with the musical team and with Justin, and partially is just in awe of him and is a student of theater like so many of us, and was able to have this front row seat to such extraordinary creatives. But I also think just having the energy of somebody that loves theater. There are those artists that think about themselves, and there are those artists that are just rooting for everybody else. She's that one. Absolutely. She's the one that just roots for everybody, and so it's nice to have her around. And I'm her mom, but I think her notes are.
Have the other kids seen it as well?
Yeah, very much.
Similar thoughts? Do they share their thoughts too?
Yeah, and they all have very strong reactions. They all just believe in it. They all think it's. I think it speaks. The nice thing is when you show things to young people. Not just young people. A lot of people that see this they get private after about their thoughts about it, right? They say they like it, they say they enjoy it, they talk about what's cool, but they also seem to be thinking deeply about what it says, because it's personal for everyone, and everybody relates to a different character, and
And that helps the relationship.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Talking about a student, this is Joel. Hi there. Big projects in the past, but this one, obviously there's a lot more eyes on it. What was the challenge?
I mean, initially the challenge was taking like an iconic young adult novel that has affected so many people's lives, millions of kids, and just doing it justice, and also making it live on stage and finding where the conflict was, finding what the consequential hard actions were that would move an audience, and then like giving the songwriters a blueprint and working with them on creating the blueprint so that song could tell the story. That for me, I've never written a musical, so it's all about language and moments and hard action, and so it was new for me to kind of get out of the way and trim the hedges when necessary and be the gardener, but then also be ready to be at the center of it at times, and I love it very much now. It was challenging at first.
As a rap, did you seek advice from anybody, like a sibling or something?
No, I wanted to do it on my own. My brother's had such an incredible career, and he's such a brilliant kid. I always come at my stuff from my own point of view. We're very different in many ways, and we have very similar tastes in weird ways, but I wanted to show him this, and I want him to be proud of it when he sees it.
That sounds great. Now, the lens of being an outsider, when S.E. Hinton wrote this, when Coppola directed it, and now when you're taking it on, has somewhat changed. How did you adjust for that?
I think the first thing I had to get over was it was going to be a commercial enterprise, and these are kids fighting for their lives. They don't have parents. They don't have normal families. And to do that on the boulevard here, on Broadway, is a little bit of an oxymoron because it's about broken lives, but people who come to Broadway pay $200 for a ticket. So I had to kind of get my head around that at first, and I wanted to really feel like we should be challenging the audience to look at these people in a valuable way, to really have empathy for them, and also to fight for them in a way that if they're not used to sort of the lower middle class kid crying out in the night, I want them to fall in love with that kid. So that was something I thought about a lot.
Yeah, and you've accomplished it.
Thank you.
Really good stuff.
Thank you. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I think you're going to be loved when you come to the university.
across. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. That is Thanks, Alicia. This is Alan. Is everyone good? Everyone good? Thank you.